the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. This will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Bridgewater's throw caught by his receiver, Hill.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. Room to run past midfield. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Off the play fake, Bridgewater. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away.
Touchdown, Dolphins! Raheem Mostert, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. There he goes left side. He's at the 40, past the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Tariq Cohen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Noah Igbenogany from his end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On second down, Mostert. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Bridgewater now. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. To throw, Bridgewater. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down. Third and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. From the gun, Bridgewater. He'll get this underneath to Edmonds. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. They go play action. Bridgewater. They'll roll him out right. This is intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And the Jets will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open. That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Wilson. Ebron caught left side. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. This defense for the Dolphins, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So the completion there from Zach Wilson, rookie out of BYU. Charles, what do you think they have to be on the lookout for defensively here, trying to slow him down?
Well, to me, it's sitting on the shorter and intermediate routes because he is an accurate thrower coming out of college. I think he was 73% his last season at BYU. So I'd give him as many looks as I could, but I'd force him to throw the ball over my head because a lot of the young quarterbacks, they want the safe completions, the easy throws early. Make him throw it deeper where he has to take a little bit more of a chance.
These two teams all tied after one. First down, a run with Cohen. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
2nd and 8 coming from the 19. Here's a quick throw out to Wilson. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there. With touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jets have taken the lead. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Throwing is Bridgewater. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Bridgewater. That's going to be caught by Waddle.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this third down. They'll run right side with Mostert, and they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on fourth down. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field, and he wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They hand it off to Mostert. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 46 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether...
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Raheem Mostert, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And we are tied here in the second quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they had things pointing in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight, and that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. On the give, this is Cohen. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Wilson now off the bootleg. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Jerome Baker.
And the Dolphins will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. The disaster there, I mean, you saw it coming. The pressure gets knocked down, the interception.
Sometimes the best throw you make is the one you
don't make.
Exactly. Take care of the football. He'll also learn how to shrug his shoulders, take the proper slide steps to alleviate some of the pressure. But occasionally, like the one we just saw, sometimes just hold on to the football and take the hit.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
So, CD, you talk about this football team. Some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely. But that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here. And then they realize, I'm not ready to retire yet. What am I going to do now? And they're really ready to come back and dive back in. In fact, we got guys who are wearing gold jackets in the Hall of Fame that talked about retirement the last 6-7 years of their careers. So that's not always real. And sometimes you just have to go ahead and ride it out. And this is an opportunity now for everyone in this locker room to move forward.
Now Bridgewater. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
A first down throw for Bridgewater.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off inside the 5. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver. Whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter, they'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A good gain on first, has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. From the shotgun, Wilson. It's caught by Davis. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to look deep for more. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
47's the mark, boy. 47. Check, 47.
To throw again on second down. Wilson. Oh, he's going up top for Wilson. Touchdown. That's caught. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jets have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Zerline connects on the extra point. And the lead is now 21-14. 4 seconds, all that remain here in this first half as the kick gets away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the home team, the Jets, leading this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Looking left side. That's caught by Moore. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
On 1st and 10, it's Carter.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They go play action with Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked up by Xavier Howard.
And the Dolphins are going to get it back here just past the 35.
That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
A run there with Mostert as he'll push this forward and call it a 4-yard gain on 1st down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw is Bridgewater. Able to find Shaheen here.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll try and run here with Mostert.
And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Now Mostert. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
On the handoff, this is Mostert.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
99 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Play action now. Bridgewater rolling to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Now a give to Mostert running right.
And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 25. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2.
Once again, it's Mostert.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Bridgewater.
He'll swing that out to Edmonds.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 3rd down, here comes Mostert.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
He's been tough for this defense to handle, over 100 yards. You kind of knew that they were going to him on that play, didn't you?
They certainly did. That's one of those situations where you simply say, my best runner over my best blockers. Let's go ahead.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Raheem Mostert
with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year.
And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying this ball game here in the final moments of the 3rd quarter.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will tie our game here in the 3rd. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Wilson. To the right side, and he's got more complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Well, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly, and this one could be coming back.
That's on the guard, Laken Tomlinson.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They go play action now. Wilson. Flush to his right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
A carry there for Mostert as he's able to work his way forward for a pretty good pickup on first down. Officially a gain of 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Bridgewater. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Major used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Cohen. And a solid run down inside the 30.
106 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Cohen. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for it with Cohen. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson.
And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look to grab a late lead. On 2nd down now. It's Cohen, and he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Tariq Cohen, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Jets are going to take the lead. They do tack on the extra point as well. They will take his 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Bridgewater.
Connecting with Hill.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing. Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Bridgewater to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets have just about sewn up this football game.
Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Wilson going to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Wilson to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
They'll run on first down. Cohen. And some space here. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. Saying, all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Igbenogany going to take it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Bridgewater to throw it. Dancing to his left.
He'll get this to his running back, Edmonds.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short. Bridgewater. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Jets, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.